What's up out there? I just recorded a video, and as I was recording it, and it was kind of got a little bit long, I worked my way through a thought experiment, and I finally figured out how to make things work. So I'm going to re-record this and give you the short version of it instead of having to go through the long version. So let's recap. In the last video, I don't remember what we did, but I have been in combat since. I think we probably did a dungeon in the last one. So I've got ranged, magic, and Slayer all up at 118. So we have access to, or we have the ability to get into the Throne of the Herald itself. What we need to do is idle out, I believe, 10 tokens from each one of these. So I've got to get 10 of these Featherstorm crossbow shards, 10 of these Slicing Maelstrom wand shards, and 10 of these Agile Rings rapier shards. From there, we can go fight in the Millennium Gate. I think we just need to kill the Guardian of the Herald enough times that he drops one golden key. So I don't think that drop rate is very bad for him. But somebody made a good point in the last video. I forgot about it. I think all this is 120 gear. So there's no point in actually trying to idle all this gear out because I can't get to 120 anyway. So I don't have to worry about that. All I have to do is get enough of these little shards, which I've got one right here. So if I get 9 more of these, if I can idle this thing out and get 9 of those, and then we can somehow get the next one I'm having difficulty with is the magic one. Let me kill this thing off real quick here. Try to see if I can get one. These heal back. They have lifesteal. And when I was recording this the first time, I was sitting here trying to think of how to get around all that lifesteal because if this thing will quit healing, there we go. It's dead. The problem is if I go down to agility, and this is what I worked through on the last video. If I go in agility, or the last time I tried to record this, or the first time I tried to record this. So if I go in here and I look at obstacle 15, I actually cannot create any of these obstacles except for the one that I can do farming and astrology to 120. That's the only skills that I can actually reach anything on because I don't have 120 capabilities. Like I can't do smithing, so that one's out. Herblore is only 116, that one's out. I could do woodcutting and mining. No, I can't even do mining. So mining and fishing are out. And then cooking is out. And fire making is definitely out. So the only obstacle I could actually do is this one. So I'd have to let this go. What I would want this for is to get the elite pillar so that I could get 35% Slayer negation. The problem is this one's also way out there because I'd have to have 120 in wood cutting. And I don't know how I'm going to get Divinite bars. That's a lot of bars that I can't. There's a way you can get the Smith version from mining. So I'd have to let Divinite go for forever to get that done. So these are way outside the ball game. And I was just looking at this and I'm like, there's just no way. I just don't have enough to get there. So I was trying to figure out how I could actually make all this work. And I think I've got a game plan. I guess we'll do Burning Madness on here. So if I try to fight these things, I cannot idle these. Like even with my damage reductions on, if I put damage reduction 4s on, this thing still hits for a lot more than I have. It's 374. I want to say this goes up to like 600 or 700. Unless it's not going to because I've equipped some different things. Oh, okay, so here's the big realization that I have. Yeah. All right. I tried this before I've realized, all right. I had forgotten about something when I played through Throne of the Herald before. I had completely forgotten that my tactic for this specific Slayer area here, the Golden Cloud Mountains, which enemy has a % lifesteal. The thing is, you cannot address that lifesteal. You can't put enough Slayer gear on to deal with it because if you do, you can't live through it. Like they do more damage than you can afford. We could do damage reduction 3s on here, can't we? Yeah. So I can idle these guys now too. Sweet. The mistake I was making is that I was trying to equip damage reduction gear on here and that doesn't fly. You cannot do that. I'm sorry. I was trying to equip Slayer gear. So I had the Slayer helmet, the Slayer chest, and then the another Slayer helmet over here. I had the other the cape of completion or cape of max skill cape or whatever. Like I just couldn't get around the amount of DPS that these guys have coming in. And as I was narrating through the first time I recorded this video, it dawned on me. I was like, you know what? In this specific area, I just flat out ignored the damage reduction. Or yeah, I ignored the Slayer area negation. I may have had these things on the Explorer's map, so it did a little bit of negation, but I basically just ignored that and just went all in on as much damage reduction and damage as I possibly could. See, like these have 235% lifesteal. I think it's like 250 or something like that. I think it is what it starts off at. But if you just ignore that, it's going to cost you a little bit more resources, but you can actually kill them. So I've worked up a way that I have enough damage reduction and enough ways to kill them that I can actually idle the Arctairs and the Harkairs. I may not be able to idle the Torvairs, and I may have to level up all my melee skills to get there. But the problem that I'm running into on the melee side is I don't have the gear to even attempt it. Like I don't even have the smithing to level up. So I'm kind of screwed in that regard. I only can get Corundum gear. I can probably idle out and get the Perfect Sight Legs material, which gives me 12% damage reduction. If I could get that, that's going to be better than what I have on that's better than the Corundum stuff. The Blazing Helmet's already at 12%, so we're good there. I could probably grind out the Leviathan Shield. That took forever. I killed thousands of those things. How many did I kill? I'm actually curious about that now. Not mod settings. We need to come down here because I killed a lot of those things. Where are they at? They are over here. 7,313. I mean, I killed a lot of those things. I let that grind for a while. That's how I leveled up my magic. And I've only got 13 of these pieces. That's ridiculous. That's going to be a lot of grind on those. Oh, but I did remember how to actually idle this thing. So this is cool. All I have to do is, at this point, all I need to do is idle these things off. If we go look at the Slayer part, I just need to get 10 of each of these shards and then 10 million Slayer coin. 10 million Slayer coins rough. I leveled up my Slayer gear. I shouldn't have done that because I would have had plenty. Man, that sucks. I also was looking at township tasks. There are some that I could turn in for Slayer coin and get some Fury of the Elemental Zodiacs, but that's all like extra grind. Man, I'm going to have to figure out this is going to be cutting it close. I don't know if we're going to get there. I honestly don't know, but I'm going to try. I'm really going to work on this and see if we can get this done. You know what? Let's see if we can put this on here. Does that mess up my damage reduction? That's 490, so we're still good. More of a chance to light that thing on fire. I'm glad I thought about that. I'm glad I worked that through. So here's the thing. I am trying my absolute hardest to get at least fighting the Throne of the Herald. What we need is 10 of each of these shards, 10 million Slayer coin, and then one of these keys. And the key, basically once you get 10 of these items here, you can buy the golden shard to get here, and then you just need to idle the Guardian of the Herald. And once you get that key to drop, which I believe drops fairly regularly, I think it's a common drop for him. I don't think it's like a 20-hour grind to get it. I'll have to look at the drop rate, but I think you get that fairly quickly. Somebody brought up a good point in the last video. All the gear in here, all the weapons and the armor is level 120. So even if I tried grinding all that out, I can't actually equip any of it because I won't have 120 in my combat skills. So basically at this point, we've got enough ranged and magic that we can idle this out. I should be able to get the components that I need and at least try to get the melee part picked up and buy that shard, try to get that Goliath thing or whatever this is fought. the Guardian, try to get him fought. I think we can actually be at the Throne of the Herald. I don't know if we can fight it or win, but I think I could be there in a couple of days. As long as my drops go, you only need 10 of these to drop, and that shouldn't, 20 hours later, I get one. You know, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. But man, I'm glad I sat and thought this through for a second. It's doable. It's going to be rough. It's going to be very rough. You know what we could do is I could go in here. I kind of want the burn on here. That's the ranged max hit. I guess I don't get the, I don't have the magic maxed hit. All right, whatever. So anyway, this is where we're at. I'm really trying. I was about to give up, and then I as I talked through the video, like I was looking at the possibilities. I can't get my melee gear any better. I'm stuck on agility obstacles. I can't get any further there. I was basically thinking about just stocking up, trying to get like 120 wood cutting so I could level up mining so I could get divinite bars and stuff, like thinking long-term production-wise. Okay, so we have to talk about the expansion that's coming up. When I started the previous recording of this video, I was thinking I was not gonna be able to even attempt the Throne of the Herald. But since it looks like I'm going to be able to attempt the Throne of the Herald or get close to it, maybe I'll be attempting it by next weekend or something. I'm not sure. It's looking a lot more promising than it was earlier. At any rate, we are supposed to get a quality of life patch probably here. Today's Sunday. We're probably going to get that Monday or Tuesday. I suspect Tuesday. And we're probably going to, I think we get the expansion on Thursday. So my goal with this is to try to get into the Throne of the Herald fight. I may not be able to win it. I may have to, I may get there with just 108 attack or something like that. I may not get there with all my skills leveled up. I would like to at least get there. I would like to at least attempt the fight and try it. If it's going to be a long grind, because I would like to get into the expansion with this game mode. I would like this character. I keep wanting to say character. I would like this to be in the expansion. If I can't get this into Throne of the Herald, what I'll do is I'll set this on we'll just idle some stuff in the background. I'll check it periodically, and I'll try to level up the different combat skills and the non-combat skills and just kind of get ready for the Throne of the Herald. And then I'm going to pivot over to my standard account and do all the expansion stuff over there, because I got to cover the expansion stuff. And if I can't cover it here and I have to prep this up for the Throne of the Herald, then I'm not going to be able to do the expansion. I can't imagine they're going to let us idle both sides, this expansion and that expansion at the same time. So if I can't get out of this expansion before then, or at least get to the final boss of this one to where we could attempt it at some point, then I'm going to have to pivot off, set this one on like a park mode or an idle, or you know what I mean? Just let this thing go in the background, and then switch over to my other account and do the expansion off my standard account. So the game plan is changing every time I turn around. I want to attempt this. I really want to attempt this, and we'll see what happens. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Let's see here. If your accuracy is higher than 20,000, this does not miss. This hits 4 times. Does this do decent damage? I kind of like Incinerate a little better. Can miss, can miss, can miss. This one doesn't do as much damage, though. I like Incinerate because it kind of, I like Incinerate better. It constantly burns him down. And it kind of synergizes with the Burning Gem, the Burning Madness Ring and Gloves, and the synergy I got going down here. Still nothing off of this thing. So that's my game plan. I am going to do my absolute best with what I have to get into the Throne of the Herald before Thursday or before the end of the weekend, next weekend. I'm going to give it this week. And if it looks reasonably, whoa, 645. That's a lot of damage. Maybe I don't want to let this go. I'm sitting here thinking it's all good, and it might not be. I may have to sit and pay attention to this. I didn't catch that hit 600. I was about to save it and let it go. Well, but at any rate, that's my game plan. I'm going to try my best to collect up the parts and let this get into the try to get to the boss fight. I was thinking it wasn't going to happen, but I totally forgot that you just ignore the lifesteal on here. It doesn't matter. You can't outdo it. You just kill them until they're dead and put as much damage reduction as you've got on. So yeah, and even that 1% wouldn't help. I'm not going to be able to let this idle. I'm going to have to keep an eye on this because that 600 damage is massive. Okay. And that was because I was on bleed and I don't have a way to avoid bleed. I think we used the bleed burner capes or something like that. I don't remember. It seems rare, but I don't want to lose like the Fury of the Elemental Zodiacs or anything like that. Like I don't want to lose any of my gear. So I'm going to have to kind of keep an eye on this. I can't let it go in the background like I was thinking. Yeah, there's 645 because I'm bleeding. Yep, that's what's going to do it. So if I take bleed damage, I'm going to get screwed. Good to know. And I don't think there's anything I have that's going to get around that. I just cannot take bleed. But I'm bleeding here and it's not, oh, there it's 645. Huh. Well, at any rate, I guess I can't let this thing idle overnight. So anyway, that's going to do it for this video. That is the goal. I'm going to try my best to get this stuff collected up. I probably let these things idle on melee stuff overnight so I can get that leveled up, get some Slayer coin built up. I'll just get out of this fight. But anyway, I have a game plan. I'm going to try to get into the final boss area hopefully this week before the expansion drops. If the expansion gets here and I'm not able to get into that area, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and shelf this for a little bit. I will probably be doing building summoning tablets and leveling up all these skills and stuff, getting to max level and trying to collect gear and stuff like that while I do the Abyss expansion with my standard account. And we're about to get really busy with content here. So if I can't get through this one and get this going on the Abyss, then I'm going to have to shelf this and do the Abyss on my standard account, something like that. So anyway, that will do it for this video. We will catch you on the next one. Take care.